Hello students, today we are going to start chapter number 7, alternating current. It is also called AC current in short. Now about introduction. Now students, so far we have studied about DC source. This is the symbol for DC source, and also we studied the circuits related to the DC source. DC source provides constant current and voltage. Means the current and voltage which are obtained from DC source are independent of time. Now students, the power supply in our homes and offices is a voltage that varies like sine function with time. Students, it changes according to sine or cosine. That means it changes in this way. So this type of current or the voltage is called a alternating current or alternating voltage. Such a voltage is called a alternating voltage, in short AC voltage, and the current driven by it in a circuit is called the alternating current, in short AC current. Most of the electric energy supplied by power companies. Students, in Ahmedabad, we know that there is a Torrent Power, the company which provides the electric energy, and in other villages near Gandhinagar or in Gandhinagar, it is GEB which provides electric energy. So, such type of power companies, they distribute AC current. Now, students, why these companies they provide or distribute AC current? There are many reasons behind it. It is because it is easy to produce the AC current or the AC voltage. Second thing, it is very easy to transfer AC from one place to other without loss of much energy. That means power loss is very less when it is transmitted in the form of AC source or AC current. Then most of the appliances or gadgets which we use at our home, they require AC voltage. Means the instrument or the devices which we use, they are constructed in such a way that they require AC voltage or AC current. Also, AC voltages can be easily and effectively converted from one voltage to other with the help of transformers. Students, we know that some of the devices which we use at our home, they require less voltage, and some other devices they require high voltage. So AC can be easily increased or decreased. Means voltage provided by AC can be increased or decreased using transformer easily. Next is AC can be transmitted economically over a long distance without much loss of power. And also there are many more advantages of AC. Now topic number 7.2, AC voltage applied to a resistor. Means only resistor is connected to this AC source. Students, we know that for a DC, this is the symbol where this is positive and this is negative. But here the symbol for AC is this. It is like this. It is because it changes according to sine or cosine function. And this terminal plus or minus changes sinusoidally. Means this do not remain plus always. This do not remain minus always. And that's why this sign plus or minus is not considered here. They change alternately with time. Now here the direction of the current is shown here. But this direction is not permanent. It is temporary because this direction will be reversed after some time. So the current, AC current, is shown by letter small I, and here it is a function of time. Similarly, the voltage by this AC source is denoted by small v, and this voltage is given by V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Again, it is a function of time. Here, this Vm is the maximum value of the voltage. We know that current as well as voltage, they change according to sine function. So this voltage can be 0 also, and it reaches to maximum with time. So this value, this peak value is nothing but it is Vm. Hence, this Vm is the amplitude of oscillating potential difference, means maximum voltage. Omega is the angular frequency. Students, this equation is similar to the equation of simple harmonic motion or the equation of waves, which we have studied in 11th standard. Also, this equation is similar to the equation of electromagnetic waves. We have seen the equation of electric field as well as magnetic field in chapter number 8. So this equation is similar to that. And we know that whenever something is oscillating, it has some frequency, and this is the angular frequency related to this AC voltage or AC current. Now, applying Kirchhoff's second rule to this circuit, whatever the voltage provided by the source is dropped or used up across this resistor R. And so, when we apply Kirchhoff's loop rule, we get Vm sin omega t, which is nothing but it is the voltage provided by the source, is equal to IR. This is the voltage drop across the resistor. Now, making subject I, we get I is equal to Vm upon R sin omega t. This R is brought towards the left hand side. Now, we know that Vm upon R, we have studied that I is equal to V by R. So here also, this term is similar to this. And so here it is Vm upon R So that is nothing but that is equal to Im. As V by R is equal to I, so we can say that Vm upon R is nothing but it is Im. Resistor R, its value remains constant. So here this R is a constant term. And so this Im is nothing but it is the maximum value of the current, or we can call that this is a current amplitude. It is because even the current changes with respect to time, it becomes maximum, and that maximum value is nothing but is Im. Students, you can see that this equation of current as well as equation of voltage, they are similar to each other. Both are sine functions which changes with time. Now let us plot the graph for this equation of current as well as this equation of voltage with respect to time on a same graph paper. Then we will get this figure. Here the horizontal line represents omega t and vertical represents voltage as well as current. Now students, as both are sine functions, the graph for voltage will be this. It changes according to sine function. Also, the equation of current is also related with the sine function. So even this current also changes in a similar manner that of the voltage. When the voltage is 0, current is also 0. When the voltage becomes maximum, at the same time current also becomes maximum. Once again they reach the 0 value at same time, and then they becomes negative and becomes negative maximum at the same time, and then once again becomes 0. So this is for the one period of time. So here it is clear that both V and I reach 0, minimum and maximum values at the same time. That is, we can say that the voltage and the current are in a phase with each other. They are in a phase with each other. That means their angle do not change with time, because here omega t, this quantity is nothing but is the angle, and that is, you can see here on this line, pi, 2 pi and so on, and this angle changes with time. Now students, if we take the average value of the current or the voltage over a one complete cycle, then it will be 0. So this is current and this symbol is for the average. So it is an average current. So for one period of cycle, you can say this is the positive value of current and this is the negative value, and this positive and negative value resembles each other. So when we add these two for this one period of cycle, then the result will be 0. So average value of the current for one complete cycle is 0. But student, that doesn't mean that the average power consumed by the resistor in a circuit which gets dissipated, this power gets dissipated through this resistor in the form of joule heat. So that average power is not 0. So instantaneous power. Instantaneous means the power at any particular time which dissipated in the resistor can be given by P is equal to I square R. Students, you can see here small letter is used for power. This is the power for AC circuit and it is an instantaneous power. And we know the formula for power. We have studied that P is equal to I square R in previous chapters. So this is for the DC. Same which we use here is small p is equal to small I square R. But what is I? I is Im sin omega t from equation number 2. So using the value of small I, we get this. Now opening these brackets, we will get I square, that is square of this, then R and sine square omega t. So power P is equal to Im square R sine square omega t. Let us give this equation number 4. Now that was the instantaneous, but we want to find the average power over one complete cycle. The symbol for average power is P bar, or we can write this also, meaning is same. So now putting the value of P from equation number 4, this is the value of power. So using that here, now in this average, Im square and R, they are constant. Amplitude of the current and the resistor, they are constant values. So in an average, constants are taken out. So we have taken out this term outside. Remained is sine square omega t. Now students, we know that this sine function changes according to time. It becomes positive also and it becomes negative also. But square of that is always positive. We know that square of any negative is also positive. And so as it is here square of sine function, now the average for one period is not 0 now, and this average of sine square omega t gives 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 2 and rest of the things as it is. Students, why it is 1 by 2? So that method is actually like this. Average of sine square omega t is given in this form, integration form, over one period of time. So 1 by t integration of sine square omega t dt, and when we integrate this, we will get 1 by 2. So we are not going to the method of this integration. We will simply remember that average of sine square omega t is 1 by 2. As we have seen earlier that average of sine omega t is equal to 0, but here it is sine square omega t, that will give you 1 by 2. If it is simple sine omega t, then it is 0. Now students, let us define RMS current or RMS voltage. First let us see about RMS current. It is denoted by IRMS or simply capital I. Now students, to express AC power in the same form as DC power, we have studied that DC power is given by P is equal to I square R. So similarly, we can define the power in an AC circuit by applying root mean square of current. Means here in AC, this current is taken the root mean square of I. So according to definition, I, which is IRMS, and that is root mean square of I. Once again students, look here. What is RMS? It is root mean square of current. So you can see here root, this is average, means it is mean value. So root mean and square of I, and that's why it is called RMS value of I. Why it is needed to take this RMS value? Because students, we know that when we take the average of current I, then that is obtained to be 0. So actually in a circuit current is not 0. So what we have to do, as this value can be positive also and negative also, but when we square it, it becomes positive only, and that's why we have to square this current I. Then after squaring it, we will take the average for one period of time, and then as we have squared it, we have to take the root also, and so this value gives the RMS value. Now what is this average of I square? Average of I square is average of this. We know that I is equal to Im sine omega t, and so if we take the square, then it will be Im square sine square omega t. So we have kept here that I square, and then taking the average, once again this maximum value Im, that is constant, so we can take out this Im square outside the average, and what is remain inside? This quantity which changes according to time, which is not constant, and the average of this sine square omega t is 1 by 2. So we got the average of I square equal to 1 by 2 Im square, and that is here. So we get the root mean square current I is equal to Im upon root 2, because when we take the root of this, that is here, then we will get this value. Now students, in your textbook on page number 235, a footnote is given which shows the method why this average of sine omega t or cos omega t for one period of time is equal to 0, and why this average of sine square omega t or cos square omega t is equal to 1 by 2. So students, method is not required. Simply remember, if it is normal sine omega t or cos omega t, and if we take the average of that, then that will result in 0. And if it is square of that function, and if we take the average of that, then that will result in 1 by 2. Now about average power. Students, if we simply write small p, then that is instantaneous power, and if we take p bar, then that is nothing but it is an average power denoted by capital P. We can write this as like this also. meaning is same. Now P bar, we know that P is equal to I square R. We know that P is equal to I square R. But here this value we have to use as a root mean square. So from 6 we use this value for I square. R is a constant, which is resistance of a resistor connected in a circuit. And so finally we can write P is equal to I square R, where this I is a root mean square value. So students, it is clear that when the resistor is connected with a DC source or an AC source, the formula or equation for the power is not different. It is same only. Difference is that here there is an RMS value of current. Now students, let us see this RMS value and maximum value of current on the graph. Now here you can see this is the graph of omega t versus current I. This symbol is the AC is for the AC current, which changes according to time. In this point represents the amplitude of this current, means it is the maximum value denoted by Im. And we know that the RMS value of current I is equal to its maximum value upon root 2. And if we put the value of root 2 and calculate, we will get this as 0.707 Im. And if we plot this value on this graph, then it is obtained here at this point. So this is the maximum value and this is the RMS value. So we can consider that in an AC source, the RMS value can be considered as a constant value of the current. This is the actual current supplied by the AC source. Now, similarly, we can define RMS value of voltage denoted by capital V, or we can denote it by Vrms, and that is equal to Vm upon root 2, as I is equal to Im upon root 2. In similar way, V is equal to Vm upon root 2. Now, from equation number 3, we can write Vm is equal to Imr. It is nothing but it is the Ohm's law only. We know that V is equal to IR. Similarly, Vm is equal to Imr. Now, dividing root 2 on both the side of this equation, then what is Vm upon root 2? Vm upon root 2 is nothing but it is V, and Im upon root 2 is I, R as it is. So we get this equation, which is similar to that of the Ohm's law, which we have studied in chapter 3. So this above equation gives the relation between the AC current and AC voltage, which is similar to that in the case of DC. Now students, I have given a note here that IRMS is equivalent to DC current that would produce same average power as that the AC. So now we can write other formulas for power as P is equal to V square by R, or P is equal to I into V. So these are not new equations. These equations or formulas we have studied in chapter number 3. Now example number 7.1. Students, here for a light bulb, supply is 220 volt. So this 220 volt is nothing but it is the RMS value of the voltage, and its power is 100 watt. That means this much power is used by this bulb. So these two things are given, and we want to find here resistance of the bulb, then peak value of the voltage, and the RMS value of current. So now these are the given conditions, and this is to be obtained or find out. Students, we know that power P is equal to V square by R. Here value of V and P both are given. So just put these values and calculate. You will get resistance of the bulb R is equal to 484 ohm. Then we want to find the peak value of this voltage. We know that RMS value V is equal to Vm upon root 2. So from this, if we make the subject Vm, then we will get root 2 into V, and RMS value of voltage is given. So root 2 is 1.414 and V is 220. Calculating this, we will get the peak value or the maximum value of this AC supply voltage is 311 volt. Finally, power P is equal to I into V. From this, if we make the subject I, we will get P upon V. Value of P and V is given. So putting these values and calculating, we will get I is equal to 0.454 ampere. Now next topic is topic number 7.3, representation of AC current and voltage by rotating vector. This rotating vector is known as phasor. Now students, addition of harmonic functions like sine or cosine can be done with the method of phasor. Harmonic functions means they change with time, and we know that sine and cosine, they are the harmonic functions. They change with time. Now a phasor is a vector which rotates about the origin with angular speed omega. So it is also known as a rotating vector. Students, we have studied about the vectors. Vectors can be denoted by this type of symbol, and we know that vector, when we represent it at any place at any point, then its direction should not change with respect to x-axis. We can put this vector anywhere, but its direction should not change. So during the addition or subtraction of the vectors, the direction of vectors should remain same. But here, this rotating vector or phasor, it changes its direction. with respect to a fixed point, it can rotate, and when any vector rotates, the angle changes, and hence it is called a rotating vector. Actually, it is not a vector. Remember students, actually it is not a vector, a term named as a rotating vector. Now here in these two figures, you can see here the representation of I and V with respect to omega t. Now if we consider the amplitude of V as a phasor V, you can see here this is a phasor V. Its length is equal to the amplitude of this V. Amplitude means maximum value of voltage. Similarly, if we consider the amplitude of I, that is maximum value of I, as this capital I shown in this figure A. So this is the phasor I and this is the phasor V. Now when the resistor is connected in a circuit at time t is equal to 0, you can see the magnitude of both the values of I and V with respect to vertical line is 0, and hence here also the phasor will represent along the x-axis, both the phasor, and so their projection on this y-axis will be 0. But as this value increases with time, you can see current increases as well as voltage, and so when we project this value of I and V on this y-axis, that is vertical line, then we get some values of I and V which increase with the time. And so here also this both the phasors of I and V, they will rotate, and if we take the projections, that is y component of I and V, then we will get this exact values which resembles with this graph. Now when here this V reaches its maximum value, then here this phasor of V will reach here at this point, that is maximum value of V on y-axis. Once again here on this graph B, when it decreases, again this phasor will rotate in this direction. Suppose if it is here, then its projection on the y-axis will be this much. In that way, when it completes one cycle, when V completes its one cycle for the period of time t, then even this phasor of V will complete its one rotation, and similarly for I also. So with respect to time omega t or t1 here, the angle changes. Students, as I said earlier, this omega t1 is a physical quantity which represents angle. So here also the angle changes with respect to time for both V and I. So now students, when only resistor is connected, you can see that both the phasors, they are on a same line at any time. That is, angle between V and I will be 0. We can represent the angle between V and I as phi. So here this phi will be equal to 0 always for resistor connected in a circuit. So now as shown in figure vertical component of the phasor V and I represent the sinusoidally, that is according to sin theta. Sinusoidally varying quantities of V and I with time. Magnitudes of phasor V and I represents the peak value of Vm and Im. Magnitude means, as I said, the length of V as well as the length of I, they represent the maximum value of V and I. Now, curve shown in figure B are generated due to the rotation of phasor V and I with frequency omega. Means when this phasor rotates with respect to time, they plot this type of curve with respect to omega t. For AC circuit consisting only resistor, the phasors V and I are in same direction, and hence we can say that V and I are in same phase.